All right, so a little while ago I reacted to Oliver Anthony's new viral hit, Rich Men North of Richmond, and now he's come out with some interviews. He understands exactly what's going on. He understands that politicians are not coming to save us. Part of our issue is that we're waiting for that to happen, and because it's not going to happen, we're going to continue to wait while this unfolds in front of our eyes and we watch helplessly like there's nothing we can do. When the truth is that we could go to the polls, the midterms, the presidential election, local, state government, all of it, and vote them out across the board to send a message. Then we make our demands that money is removed from the election system and from the lobbying system so that we can gain access to legislation that benefits Americans, normal Americans, not rich Americans, and we can gain access to representatives that are not bought and paid for and are part of the ruling class now because they made so much money on their way into office that the problems that they probably started campaigning about no longer exist to them. So just like Eminem, when he got rich and boring and stopped doing pills and being crazy, nobody cares. We listen to you because you're sensational and weird and out there and angry. And once you get rich, you're fat, dumb, and happy. Who cares? Not my problem. So I'm gonna shut up and let's cue the dude of the hour.
What I want out of this, like for the general public,
Yeah.
it's for people to, I guess, for one, to stop relying on someone 150 or 500 miles away from them to like solve their problems for them. Like nobody in Washington D.C., no one in the federal government's coming to save us.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. It's on us, and it's really, other than organizing and agreeing on what we're gonna do. I think that we could all agree on that, right? Who likes to have their politics corrupted by money? I mean, that's not a left or a right issue. And the only way to figure out who's lying and who's corrupt and who's bought and paid for, well, you can't because they're all fucking liars. So we just get rid of all of them and start over. And as long as they are reluctant to make changes that remove the money from the system, we keep getting rid of them. We evict these motherfuckers over and over because it's within our rights and our power to do so. We're not being represented. Get rid of the people not representing us. Get the corporate money that's captured the entire system. The corporate money is big enough to have captured regulators and legislators, so there is no regulation or legislation against corporate money because they run the fucking show. And we need to stop waiting for politicians to come and unite us. We're Americans. Nobody gives a shit except for us. We're the ones getting fucked. All colors, all genders, we're all getting fucked unless you're rich. In which case, this is not for you. This message, this meeting, is not for you. So, you know, fuck off.
Hey there. It's August 25th, 2023. A lot's changed since the last time I sat here and spoke to you. My friends and family have asked me how I'm doing. Everybody is wondering if I've lost my sanity yet, and I'm surprisingly calm and at peace. I don't even know what to say, but I feel thankful to be given this opportunity. The music side is exciting, and all the Billboard, iTunes charts, and all that crap. That's great, but what's the exciting part's been the conversations I've had with people, and the things I've learned just in a couple weeks about the human spirit, and about all sorts of other things, the music industry, and how dirty everything is. Like, it's worse than you think. So I don't know what the future looks like for me. I'm not really too concerned about the future. I'm living in the present. and I just have to have the discernment to make the right decisions from here on out, because I think about that guy who was sitting here a few weeks ago talking to you, and the most important thing to me is not leaving him behind. I don't want to go.
This is exactly what we're talking about. He recognizes he is on the cusp of being part of the exact thing that was screwing him over. And now most people, when they're let into the club, no longer care about the people stuck in line outside. Not my problem anymore. When you're out there in the line, you're invested. You're like, this is bullshit. They're not letting anybody in. What are we going to do about this, you know? As soon as you're in, well, give me a drink, bartender. I'm good to go. You know what I mean? I'm here now. Time to party. And he's facing the same thing. If he actually cares about what's going on, he can't let himself get distracted by money and fame and success and all the trappings of wealth and luxury that makes you be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck everybody else. I'm rich. I'm better than everybody else, clearly, because look at my scorecard. Look at how many zeros I've got there. Clearly, I'm better than that idiot over there who's only got 2 or 3 zeros after, you know, whatever number he's got. Idiot. So I think he recognizes that the temptation is real. You can be the best, you can have the best intentions and they can be corrupted very, very easily for less money than you think. You watch the Epstein thing and there were people in there selling each other out for $100, $200, whatever. Nothing. Peanuts. Selling another human being out. That's how low the threshold is. So you have to be very careful. You have to be mindful.
Go on some roller coaster ride and come off a different person. If there is anything for me to address at all with you, it's that you know, it's the one thing that has bothered me is seeing people wrap politics up into this. I'm disappointed to see, like, it's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message.
Yeah, he's saying that everybody, the rich and the powerful, not the Republicans or the Democrat, the rich, powerful, they're all the same. They are controlling the system. They're disenfranchising you. The Constitution doesn't give you rights. It simply says the government will not infringe upon your natural rights that you are born with. And the government and the corporate money is infringing upon your rights for autonomy, to pursue the American dream, whether that's depriving you of purchasing power through unapproved taxes, which is what printing money is. If you have money in the bank, we're going to devalue it. Instead of asking for some back, we're just going to devalue it. We'll print more, and that's where we'll get our money. We'll use your money as collateral and devalue it, and we'll print more. That's not a Republican or Democrat thing. That's an issue with the entire power system. The fact that you need the last presidential election was like $40 billion in spending. Hold on. Oh, 14.4 billion. Sorry. Still a lot of money. And that doubled from 2016. So 2016 was 7 billion. Money runs this whole system, not Republicans, not Democrats. And with that said, the policies and agendas, the reason that they seem evil to you is because they're driven by money, not driven by human benefits, human progress, just profit. So that's why you're like, why this is not good for us. No, it's not. It's good for people that have a ton of money and want to make more. So I don't know exactly what he's going to say, but I'm in favor of going back to like let's find a moderate position where we can all agree instead of you're over here trying to convince me of shit that I don't want anything to do with, and I'm over here trying to convince you of shit that you don't want anything to do with. Why can't we just come back to the center and say, hey, you know what? We're losing our country. Are we going to squabble over smaller social issues, or are we going to at least come together to save the country, the government, our freedoms, the future for the children, morality, virtue, goodness? I mean, I don't get it. I'm not trying to push the extreme right because that alienates half the country. And this is exactly what they want. They want the country divided in half, roughly, so that they can manipulate the elections because it's close. You can't manipulate a clearly won election, okay? What you can manipulate is a close election. So you want to keep it close. You want to keep it competitive. You don't want people to get the impression that anybody's getting any lead. So what you do is you divide things and keep people separate, and you continue to lead them away from each other. They should not talk. We shouldn't talk. Because if we talk, we're going to be like, man, are you getting fucked over by the same shit? Oh, you are. Oh, really? Wow. Well, maybe we should fix that because it seems like the rich people are making out and we're getting screwed over all the time. Isn't that weird? So it's not a political issue. This is an issue with the political system. It's an issue with corruption in Washington, D.C. The Republicans are not exempt from that. When Trump said drain the swamp, that meant everybody. And the problem is that presidents can't drain the swamp. But you know who can? Us. You want the swamp drained? On the left and the right? Let's drain it. Let's drain it all. Let's start over and get rid of these people that only care about money. The rich people in power that only care about money. Let's get rid of them. Let's vote them out.
You know, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I've tried to be polite to everybody, and I've talked to hundreds of people the last 2 weeks. But it seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of this song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. The other thing that I find aggravating is, well, you know, like, it was funny seeing my song in the, it was funny seeing it at the presidential debate. Because it's like, I wrote that song about those people, you know? So for them to have to sit there and listen to that, that cracks me up. But it was funny kind of seeing the response to it. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, you know? It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden.
Yes. The whole government.
That song's written about the people on that stage. And a lot more, too. Not just them, but definitely them.
The CEOs of corporations as well.
It's cool seeing some of my other music come out because people are, I guess, starting to appreciate and understand what it is I'm really trying to say. It's hard to get a message out about your political ideology or your belief about the world in 3 minutes and some change. But I do hate to see that song being weaponized. Like I see the right trying to characterize me as one of their own, and I see the left trying to discredit me, I guess in retaliation. That shit's got to stop. If you watch the response videos on YouTube to this song, it's not conservative people responding to the song. It's not even necessarily Americans responding to the song. I don't know that I've seen anything get such positive response from such a diverse group of people. And I think that terrifies the people that I sing about in that song. And they've done everything they can the last 2 weeks to make me look like a fool, to spin my words, to try to stick me in a political bucket. And they can keep trying, but I'm just going to keep on writing. And I've got a lot of words to put down on paper, and I've got a lot of songs to put to chords, and I don't know what my music career is going to look like. I don't know how many shows I'm going to do and how many tours I'm going to put on, but I am going to stay true to my word. I'm going to write, produce, and distribute authentic music that represents people and not politics. I do feel compelled to address something. Since I have addressed the conservatives, I do need to address the left as well, because they're sending a message out that initial song that sort of shot me up the radar, Richmond, North of Richmond, is an attack against the poor. If you listen to my other music, it's obvious that all of my songs that reference class defend the poor. Doggone, it's a good example of that. Needles in the street, folks hardly surviving on sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting and the rich keep thriving. It's like, that's what I like to sing about. And, you know, the English language is interpretive, and so I do understand, like, there may be some people who misunderstood my words in Richmond, North of Richmond. But I've got to be clear that my message, like with any of my songs, it references the inefficiencies of the government because of the politicians within it that are engulfed in bribes and extortion. And
Yes. Thank you.
you know, the words say that there's people on the street with nothing to eat and the obese milking welfare. That references a news article I read earlier this summer that adolescent kids in Richmond are missing meals over the summer because their parents can't afford to feed them and they're not in school to eat cafeteria lunch. And meanwhile, I think like 30 or 40% of the food bought with welfare or EBT money is in a classification of like snack food and soda. I think 10% spent on soda, and I want to say like 20 or 30% spent on junk food. And that's not the fault of those people. Welfare only makes up a small percentage of our budget. You know, we can.
What's more expensive, soda and garbage and snacks, or real fruit and real meat and real food that is perishable, that goes bad? So if your kids are like, I don't want to eat, I want pizza tonight. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You know, you can't afford to be buying this expensive food and then have no one even want to eat it, and so then it goes bad. Whereas a lot of the preserved stuff, sugar and mac and cheese and potato chips, that lasts forever. It's dirt cheap and it's terrible for you. It fulfills all the requirements of the rich. They want to poison your food and profit as heavily as possible while doing so, and also give you the illusion that you're doing okay. You're eating Doritos. The American dream, you know? That's what they sell. I mean, this is literally what ad money sells you. Bullshit. You're driving a Ford truck and you're eating Doritos and drinking a Coke. You're living the American dream, you fuck. No.
We can fuel a proxy war in a foreign land, but we can't take care of our own. That's all the song's trying to say. It's just saying that the government takes people who are needy dependent and makes them needy independent. And at some point I will dissect all my lyrics of all my songs, if that's what I need to do. I mean, 30-some million people understood what I was saying, but it only takes a few to try to derail the train, you know, to try to send out false narratives. And I'm sure there'll be more of that to come. It's like, it's driving people crazy to see the unity that's come from this, from all walks. This isn't a Republican and Democrat thing. This isn't even a United States thing. Like, this has been a global response.
Yep.
And don't let anybody tell you
world
otherwise.
problems.
Go on YouTube and watch all the response videos, you know? And don't shoot the messenger. Like, I'm a nobody. It's my belief that divine intervention has put me in this position in this point in time to get a message across, and that's all there is to it. Like, I'm nobody special. You know, I feel terrible almost that I've been put in this place, because there are a lot of artists and musicians out there that are far more talented, that have put in way more hours than me. Like, I don't deserve to sit in the top 5 places on the iTunes charts. And the truth is, I really could give a shit less about the iTunes charts. What I care about is connecting with people. What I care about is I don't know what this country is going to look like in 10 or 20 years if things don't change. I don't know what this world's going to look like. And like, something has to be done about it, you know? There's been too many people die. There's been too many people sacrifice everything they've had. People die before they're even 18, you know? Just for us to all sit here and just do the stupid shit it is that we do every day that keeps us all beat down and divided. Like, that's what I want to see stop. And I'm going to do everything I can to influence that at all costs, even if it does throw my world upside down. It's well worth it. But for now, I'm hanging in there, and I'm doing what I can, and I really appreciate everybody who's along for the ride. So there's a lot more to come, and I'm excited for it. And I'll see you on the next one.
I cannot wait to see where this goes, how things unfold. You know, listening to him talk, I can clearly hear that he's not just a musician. He's I mean, I heard blues, not country, when I listened to Richmond, North of Richmond, because he was singing his heart out. You know, I think that's why so many people had the reactions that they had, is because they can tell that that is coming from a genuine place. And I hope that we can come together, and we just need to get the people that are leading us down this path out of power. And we've been going along with it because we got other stuff. We're busy. We're busy living our lives, trying to make the most of what have been a very uncomfortable past couple of years. And nobody wants to stop everything and have to focus on some garbage like this. But at the same time, if you want the luxury to continue to be able to relax and enjoy your life, I think that this is truly and unequivocally under duress. And I think that without intervention, it's going to be the end of America as we've known it on a lot of different levels. I mean, everything from the BRICS nations finally getting out from under the dollar. China is building a nuclear power plant in Saudi Arabia, who's traditionally been very close allies with us, and now they're kind of switching over to China at the same time that the BRICS consortium is coming up with an alternative world reserve currency that it sounds like is going to be backed by gold. So very poor stewardship of the power and luxury that we've been granted as Americans is resulting in us facing the end of our way of life, us facing the end of the comfortable, happy, relaxing, we're America and nothing can change that we're on top. Well, without at least a little effort, that's not going to last forever. And without a little bit of involvement, politics are not going to work for anybody in this country except for the rich. And you're going to watch the rug, which is the metaphor for your future, get pulled out from underneath your feet while you're standing on it. So, you know, if you don't do anything, you can't complain if it all falls apart. But I love you guys. Take care, and we'll talk again soon.